I've always been someone who's considered myself to be really independent, really organized, really in control of my life. And all of those components that made up who I am or who I was go out the window.
First-time parents, you have no clue what you just...
It's really kind of a blur, like, especially the first 2 weeks. I remember my husband and I trying to figure out, like, what do you do? Like,
we never believed anyone when they said, like, getting the baby out of the house, you'd have to pretty much take the whole house with you.
It's just a whole new world.
whether you have a great birth or a more challenging birth, there's this whole change in your world, and you know, you need some resources. I needed some resources.
And I really had to learn that it was okay for me to say, yeah, I need help.
No creo que supe pedir ayuda realmente. Pienso que mucho era que se supone que yo tenía que saber cómo hacer las cosas.
En mi vida ha sido un cambio muy grande porque nunca me imaginé ser mamá de muy pequeña.
You know, you trade a 9-to-5 job, quote unquote, for a 24/7 job that never stops. And that you don't have nearly as many benchmarks to tell you when you're succeeding and what areas you need to improve on and those kind of things.
Y tomé clases de cómo dar pecho, y tomé clases de cómo poner pañales, y según yo me preparé muy bien.
It was a whole new thing for me to have to be okay with asking for help and not feeling like I was somehow failing my child because I needed help with this, because I didn't have the energy to clean the house or get this done or get out, you know, all of the things that I'm used to doing that all of a sudden can be a huge challenge in a day.
I was having all of these feelings, but I didn't hear anybody talking about them. Like, I didn't hear one person. All I heard was the Hallmark cards of how great motherhood was, and here I was having all these feelings. I remember sitting out on the porch, you know, with these pretty negative thoughts about myself, about like what I'm doing and how am I really doing a good job? You know, all these judgments about myself as a mother.
Lo primero que me cambió completamente de como yo fue el no sentirme segura. Pero esta era completamente una nueva experiencia y no sabía cómo, no sabía. Entonces, obviamente, eso me hizo sentir muy vulnerable. Y cuando estás en ese estado de vulnerabilidad es difícil pensar.
I just didn't have a clue what to do or how to do it. I didn't know how to function without the sleep was the main thing. And I didn't realize that until later. And I was like, I couldn't even put a sentence together. It would have been so great if somebody had just said, you know what, you're gonna get through this.
It's a huge, I think, adjustment. And I think just if you can kind of look at it that way for yourself and really rest and take care of yourself and take care of your baby, and at that point nothing else is really, it doesn't matter what your house looks like, doesn't matter, you know, nothing else matters.
Nothing.
My mom gave me probably the best piece of advice that I got when I was pregnant and getting ready to have chemo, and that was to let everything else, nothing else is important as the baby. Don't worry about the dishes, don't worry about, and I had read it in a book and I'd heard it before, but it didn't really come home for me until I came home with the baby. And that's your whole world. And it's okay. It's okay, it's supposed to be that way. It does take a village, and that can come from many different areas, and that can be family and friends and organizations and resources, and there's tons of stuff out there, but you can't think that you can do it all by yourself, because you can't. There's just no way.
Tengo una hermana, es la mayor, ella me ha ayudado mucho. Cualquier cosa que yo necesito, ella está conmigo. Mi esposo siempre me ha estado apoyando.
Nuestros papás nos ayudan con la niña. A veces nos la cuidan.
That network of women, of other mothers, of new mothers, of experienced mothers, of my own mother, my friends that are women, those relationships have taken on a whole new level of importance, a whole new level of support than I've ever felt like I needed.
Pero yo pienso que buscar un grupo tal vez sería una buena idea, y tal vez aunque uno piense que no lo va a necesitar, es mejor tenerlo, y ya si de verdad no se necesita, entonces bueno, pues ya lo eliminas, pero
Firstborn is a program, and they provide services and support and information on your child's development to first-time parents, and it's just a really helpful program.
gratis. De hecho, el programa está diseñado para, creo que 5 años.
I am so grateful for it because it's a person that comes to your house, a woman who will come to your house every week and give you anything that you need. And they're like, the support for me was huge because I just needed somebody who could hear me every week, that I could talk to, who would answer any questions I had. You know, how do I figure this? How do I know when I'm supposed to feed him? How do I change from breastfeeding to solid foods, and what do I give him, and what is he supposed to be doing now, and is this normal, is that, like, all the questions where you have no idea, you're just sort of, you know, doing the best you can and stumbling forward. This was a resource for me, and still is. They come every week, and I look forward to my visitor. Like, I can't even tell you, she's like my friend, my therapist. She's amazing.
I just feel like the programs and the services we've accepted, like, those are like our little instruction books, and they've helped us so much, and we actually do have somewhat of a set of instructions for him. So like anytime you can like get offered those services, like I'd say take them, because
Take them in a heartbeat. I mean,
they're free, and it's just so helpful, and they come to your house, so you don't have to go anywhere.
that's the benefit. I mean,
To know that you're not alone, and to know that every single parent that you meet is going through similar, if not exactly the same things, maybe to different degrees, but to create some community and letting people know that you're struggling. I mean, that is, I think in our society, we've become so secluded and so like individual, you know, this whole other world of it takes a village. It really takes a village, and we can create villages is the thing.